Hi there, it's Kevin with GatheringMagic.com with match number 2 with our mono green Stompy in standard. This is one of those hands that's on the verge of being keepable. I think that I would keep a 6 land. So this is how I judge this one. If I were to mulligan and this were the card that were not in my hand, this would be definitely a keepable 6, and I wouldn't be too upset about it. So I don't like this 7, but it's one of those on the borderline keepable hands here. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it. We are on the draw, which means it gives us a little more information of if this or a little more padding for a hand like this, as we are more than likely to draw into a non-land card here. And Elvish Mystic makes us a little more juicy. Speaking of more than likely drawing into a non-land, we do draw into that land, but Elvish Mystic ramps us into a quicker Polukranos or Surrak. So this is going to be a green, probably another Abzan list, this one using the Caryatids. And we draw into yet another of lands, which I did not want to see. So I'm just, of course, bluffing off an attack here. And he's going to let it go through. This is, might as well attack. He doesn't want to lose his Sylvan Caryatid. And it also shows me what type of player he is so that I can maybe get away with this in the future. Just by keeping untapped lands. So anyway, next turn we'll have a Polukranos, and it could be a very, very strong card versus him, or a weak card if he just does. Okay, this is going to be the green-white Devotion. And another Caryatid. So I think actually Surrak is... No, it doesn't matter, because Surrak will give himself haste next turn. It's just going to be throw out the Polukranos. And there's another land. Okay, so Polukranos is coming out here. We will be able to monstrosity him for quite a bit. But this is looking bad for us with Mastery and Unseen. I know exactly how capable this deck is, just go crazy with life gain. I was saying that Abzan was probably the worst matchup last game. I think I'm going to eat my words here and say this is actually worse. So, and really bad when you literally draw into 4 lands. So there are my 4 draws, or a boom, boom, boom. Do I attack in here and then just, yes, because I could fight and trade with an Arbor Colossus. Let's see. I attack, I fight. We'd both lose our dude. So I think I'm just going to cast Surrak, and this isn't looking good for us at all. I will bring in the Reclamation Sages next game. Just this is a way to kill off the Mastery of the Unseen, which is the best card in his deck by far against us. Is going to gain him a lot of life. He's probably going to have the Death Mist Raptor in here. So I know, an early aggro, Sylvan Caryatids are kind of bad versus our deck because everything's like a 3 power or has Death Touch. So you can pound through the Sylvan Caryatids. So maybe we aren't that terrible positioned. But the problem with his deck, he's just going to continue to... I can't let this go late because he's going to get insane value out of... Are you kidding me, MTGO? Well, we're 5 for 5 for lands. And here I'll just attack him with Polukranos. At this point I need him to trade with the Arbor Colossus. He might just let it go through. He probably doesn't even care. So he's gonna... Okay, so he's gonna throw out a dude and block it. So I'm going to lose. Yeah, I can only produce 5. Now, do I have to fight? Among any number of target creatures your opponent controls. So can I just choose 0? No, okay, so I have to fight, but at least I'll 2-for-1 him, sort of 2-for-1 him here. And it was just a land underneath. So again, the mastery is just going to overwhelm me, especially their Arbor Colossus. More lands the merrier with his deck. Now we hit an Elvish Mystic. Still not looking good. We'll pass the turn. And I guess just speed things up because this is just not going our way this game. A more aggressive hand, I actually could see we pound through this. So there's the Death Mist Raptor. That card is insane in his deck. And at this point, I do believe we just... Because Kenny, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I might as well get the value here. And get rid of the Arbor Colossus. But this is going to come back and back and back and back. He's going to start mastery of... Oh, never mind, another Arbor Colossus. Yeah, I've seen enough. I don't want to see him. There's no way I come back from this. I would play it out, but there literally is no way that I come back from this. Well, maybe a huge Polukranos could get me out of this, but what we're going to do is throw out the Reclamation Sages. And I kind of like this other collected company. Hornet Nest is kind of good against an Arbor Colossus. I mean, he's got to attack in eventually, but I think that, especially on the play, we go the aggro route. Again, it's going to be Polukranos that seems a little bit weak against Death Touchers, against 6/6ers. So Reclamation Sages are really the only ones that need to come in. Setessan Tactics honestly don't seem very good against Death Touchers. And they can't do anything against the Caryatids. So I think just putting in Reclamation Sage, maybe Hunt the Hunter, is the right way to go. Ranger's Guile definitely isn't the way to go. Could bring in another collected company. And maybe... Elvish Mystic is kind of weird in this deck. It doesn't do a lot. In fact, I think of going down a few of these, 2 again, and then maybe bringing in the Setessan Tactics. What else would he have besides a Death Toucher we need to fight away? I didn't see much besides his Death Touch and a bunch of Arbor Colossuses, so I'm going to, I guess, bring in a Hornet's Nest. Now, we don't want to turn this into a let's wait for you to build up your army. It's just going to be a Polukranos. All right, so hopefully we get a more aggressive hand this time. This is definitely more aggressive hand. This is exactly what I want to see. So it's a first turn Servant into a second turn Avatar. Again, this Mystic is kind of awkward. And he has a first turn Mystic. But I will be able to Avatar here. And attack in. And then next turn we will be able to Mystic. And that's... Temple of Plenty is awkward for him. He can go a Caryatid here. So I know he's got Whisperwood Elementals in his deck too. That's a given. So we are on a clock to try to race those. It is the Caryatid, so next turn actually could come out of Whisperwood. So we need to be as aggressive as possible. I'm thinking, well, I'm not going to throw an Aspect on a Servant. I was saying maybe I could throw an Aspect and kill the Caryatid. That's not the play. The play is just to progress our board with a Mystic and a Swordwise Centaur here, I'm sure. And then we have the Aspect of Hydra that can kill on an Avatar, the Resolute. So we'll go ahead, tagging with both. I'm sure he'll block the Servant here. Take 4, go down to 15. And we'll Swordwise and Elvish Mystic. We have a Polukranos we could go next turn. I hope that we don't have a Whisperwood come out. Looks like just a Genesis Hydra for 3. And he just completely misses, so that's very, very good for us. It's another card I could go in this deck, but I think you'd want to go more of a Nykthos Shrine and Nyx route. And, yeah, extremely lucky that he just whiffed there. So we get a forest here. That's kind of neat because we can go Polukranos now. And attack in. And he's got to block the Swordwise Centaur. I win here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 devotion. Yeah, Nectar's Shining Nyx definitely wouldn't be... That's fine. That's actually the best way he could do it because it already has trample. And that's game. Or is it not? No, because he blocks it. That's not game because that's up to 9. Yeah, he's down to a 2. Okay. Worth it though. We keep everything. He'd have to draw into a board wipe here, which I don't believe they play in the deck. Because if he blocked the Servant there, it would have been game with the Hydra. Alright, so he concedes that. We actually take that match pretty easily. I still like this Setessan Tactics. Route, but I'm still thinking it's Polukranos is better than nothing. I'm still liking maybe one Mystic, but I think that this deck might not want an Elvish Mystic in it. Now, the more and more I look at this, the more I'm a little underwhelmed by what Mystic does. I mean, I guess it can get that out of that early Boon Satyr, which can put a lot of decks on the ropes. And actually, just having that extra mana up for an Aspect of Hydra was pretty good that last game. But I'd hate to see it at an Elvish Mystic later on. So another great hand. We have a first turn Elvish Mystic again, and then we could have a second turn Boon Satyr. Our opponent Snap keeps that. Wow, he could okay quick there. Temple of Plenty, that's his probably the second best start. Of course, the best start would be an Elvish Mystic on his route. So, yeah, we'll go Elvish Mystic and most likely flash in a Boon Satyr. I might want Boon Satyr on something, though. There's a Caryatid. Reclamation Sage will be nice. But it's going to be Boon Satyr. This is going to be, yeah, Courser. And he's got a Dromoka's Command coming up, which is going to be very, very rough for me to deal with. Hoping he just missed a land drop. He did not. All right, so see if he scries that away. I'd love for him to scry that away. Highly doubt he does. Just an incredibly powerful card. And he does not, smartly. So we'll just flash in a Boon Satyr. And that's actually tempting to go Mystic and then Swordwise Centaur, which is probably the route that I'm going to go because I want huge Reverent Hunters. Other than, you got to think he's going to be using the command next turn. So he's down to a 17. Yeah, it's going to be Mystic. And it fights a creature it doesn't control. So maybe Heir of the Wilds is actually better. Because Swordwise Centaur just gives him a lovely target for it. So it's going to be Heir. And that's no good that it gets a forest off the top. And he's got a Nectar Shining Nyx coming up, which can go crazy with the Mastery. Arbor Colossus can come out here. But it's a Death Miss Raptor, which is very, very good with the command. So he's going to kill off Courser on to the Boon Satyr. Oh, sack an enchantment. And fight a... Wow. Yeah, that hurts big time. I forgot that mode with Dromoka's Command, that there is a sack of enchantment on there as well. This is not looking good for us. So maybe what I should have done earlier was the Reclamation Sage on the Courser. I kind of wanted to see if a Mastery the Unseen came out. See if he blocks. He does. Because he does have a lot of ways to morph in his deck. I'm okay with that trade. He's now has some... Oh, if it's a Whisperwood, I'm just done. Oh, yep, because Death Mist comes right back in. Wow. That is some very good synergy. This is a rough matchup. So, yeah, right? Because it went... Whenever a permanent controls turn face up. Okay. So... Guess the only plan we have is just to Swordwise Centaur into the Hunter and just hope that somehow we can bash through. But it's gonna be very hard with the Whisperwood Elemental and the Death Mist Raptor coming back over and over and over again. It's gonna get to the point where Whisperwood is just gonna get so much card advantage. So, I guess the Setessan Tactics needed to stay in just for this very reason. Oh, wow. Okay. Double Whisperwoods. And he's just going to manifest every card in his entire deck. Well, we can do the exact same play again. And get a huge Hunter. But without any way to crash through. I mean, we attack here. What does he do? Block, block, block. I think we still do attack here. And he's got a command anyway. Oh, he turns the Fleecemane Lion, which returns the Death Mist Raptor. Yeah. That is rough. Death Mist Raptor just continues to come back. I have no way to exile anything in the graveyard. What a sweet deck, though. That's probably the best thing that could have happened to the Mastery the Unseen deck is giving it a recurable threat. So, I don't know what, but still, the only point to me of staying in here is just hoping mills out somehow, which I don't think he's going to anytime soon. As he's going to be able to overwhelm me before then. But we keep drawing in the Reverent Hunters, which are really good. But I cannot attack in now. It's just going to be game here. I mean, really the only thing I could think of is this deck could have would be like a Nylea to give it trample. And then he blocks. But then we'd still have to figure out a way how to... Yeah, some sort of instant speed trample. Aspect of Hydra would be the only hope. But the Whisperwood's just crazy card advantage. Nykthos Shining Nyx, of course, is going to be insane card advantage. If he has Den Protectors in there, which I highly think that he does, he's going to get cards back from the graveyard. And look at this. Just insane. Man, would I kill for a board wipe. Even with a board wipe, though, he just gets Death Mist Raptors back. And the Death Mist Raptors are really good with the... I'm going to play one more turn just to see how out of hand it gets, then we'll scoop. Yeah, there's nothing I can do here. I'm sure he's got another Whisperwood Elemental at this point. No, he's got 3 Whisperwoods out. Just Voyaging Satyrs. Polukranos, which you can generate a gazillion mana. And... another Death Mist Raptor. So he can generate 1, 2, 3 just insane amounts with Polukranos. Look how big Polukranos is going to get. Alright, I've seen enough. We lose here. We'll go on to the next game. This has been Kevin with GatheringMagic.com. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching Playing on a Budget. If you haven't already, please subscribe to Gathering Magic and check out our Playing on a Budget playlist, which contains every episode. Thanks again and hope to see you soon.